is we're going to follow through a brief introduction to what happens on our in-person training course. So obviously there's quite a lot of instruction, especially regarding the various things like putting the machine together, wrapping it correctly, a little bit of health and safety. We're going to do the first tattoo, second tattoo, third tattoo on practice skin, and then finally the in-person on a customer, or if you like, a victim or a guinea pig who's volunteered to get our students' very first tattoo. So let's have a look through. The first part of the process is to do a black tattoo, and we're going to do a bit of shading. So on the screen you can see a feather tattoo with a few birds, and this was our students' first attempt at doing a tattoo with black only. So first they did the line work, and then they did the shading with only black ink, and you can see this is a pretty good job. Bearing in mind the student has never touched a tattoo machine before, and this is on the first day. On the second day, again, we did more training, and here you can see
it's looking very good.
The students
don't forget your left hand.
at a slightly more sophisticated drawing with finer lines and adding some shading.
That's cool.
And again, a good job. Slightly better line work, a little bit cleaner, and the shading is nicely applied. We can also see then we moved on to color, so we did some instruction about color tattoo inks and the various inks, what you should buy, what you shouldn't, and what you should avoid. And now on the screen you can see the first color tattoo. So you can see this is quite well done. It's got a bit of a watercolor type of look. This is done with just using the colors and by varying the hand technique to produce the different effects. In this tattoo, the student was looking more at how do I do color packing, how do I get a good saturation so I can get good solid cover. I think the student did a brilliant job. Okay, so that's rounds out the second day, and we're now moving into the third day. On the third day we generally go through needles, stretching, various other techniques, and we talk a little bit about doing portraits as well, but we're going to go into doing a black and grey tattoo using the 6 value system that is the international standard in tattooing. So here on the screen you can see our students attempt at doing this. Okay, should you start at the top and then wipe downwards over your trace and lose your trace, or should you start from the bottom?
Bottom.
Okay, alright, it's got to be very careful not to lose your trace.
Yeah. Oh wait, should I put Vaseline on?
Okay, so sweeps or circles, okay? Need more ink? What is your left hand doing? Good. And because this student was particularly quick, and it was a course with only one student, normally if there's more students, that would be the end of the course, because there's a lot of questions. And the more questions you ask, the more full your experience is. So, but on this course, our student was very, very quick, so we decided to do a second black and grey tattoo. But in this process, what happened is we first tried to do the tattoo with a 1 round liner, and we did dot work. So that's how the tattoo began. And then after a little bit of trying at that, the student decided rather go back to doing a traditional tattoo using a magnum shader. So that's what we did. On the 4th day of the course, we now do the in-person. And this is obviously quite stressful for every student, irrespective of your skill level. When you work on a person for the very first time, it's pretty traumatic. So we take it nice and slow. During the week, we've chosen the design, printed it and prepared it. Now on the last day, all we have to do is do this tattoo. So we sit the customer down and very slowly, and we work together, the student and I. We go through the process of setting up the station, making sure we have everything. And then once we've got the station prepared, okay, not the machine assembled, we then move on to the trace. We then apply the trace, let this customer look in the mirror and make sure the customer's happy. Then we sit the customer down, and then the process of putting together all the equipment in front of the customer happens. Then we did the line work, then the shading, and finally finish the tattoo. Generally this takes 3 to 4 hours. Okay, and then once that's completed, the in-person section of the course is done. So then the student says goodbye, and then you generally they would have a couple of days off, and then they would carry on doing the online training so that they are fully rounded in all the various aspects. And there's another 4 tattoos to be done afterwards on the practice skins provided in our kits, so that they can be fully competent before going on to another person on skin. But they've wet their feet, they have an understanding of what's got to happen. So now what they're going to do is they're going to get another volunteer. Okay, but this tattoo is now a lot better. Now they will be at a point where they've actually done 11 tattoos in total, and they're now going to do their second practical. Okay, then we continue with mentorship and any assistance that they need thereafter. So I hope this gives you a bit of an understanding of what happens on the in-person segment. Okay, I hope you found this interesting, and if you're interested in any more information from Skinart Training, look us up on the internet, and perhaps we can help you in your tattoo journey.